Hello, family. I am welcoming you here to this amazing webinar. It's Tech Careers, Why You, Why Now. I promise that I am going to explain to you why a tech career is perfect for you right now and how you can get started. First of all, a few housekeeping things. Again, I'm glad that you took out this time to invest in making a change in your life, for whether it's for more stability, more income, whatever it is. I am Shaquita Graham, your host. I am a technology consultant for multi-billion-dollar tech corporations. I'm also a technology career and business strategist for you to help you reach higher incomes and higher revenues in your business through tech. Today, this webinar is going to go through the ins and outs of why tech and how and what is it all about. So take a minute to focus, to put that phone on vibrate, tell the kids you're getting ready to get started. Don't allow anything to distract you from this time. I'm going to take my time. I think it's going to be around an hour or so for what I've got planned for you. And I just want you to, first of all, know that there's a lot for me to cover. That's why I have a whole platform called blacktechlab.net. But I want to, go through a lot of things with you today. And so, excuse me, I'm going to be looking down at my notes. And at times I might have to go back to a slide or, I'm going to do this just pretty much off the cuff. So enjoy, take notes. I hope you learn a lot. I look forward to receiving your feedback at blacktechlab.net, or you can email me at attechco.institute@gmail.com. And that's ATTECHCO Institute@gmail.com. And so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen so that we can talk about everything. And let's see here. We're going to get started. Okay, so tech careers, why you, why now? All right, so there's a lot of reasons why people get involved in tech careers. And I'm not talking about just people who I talk about, that I talk to in my audience. I'm talking about people around the world. I'm talking about Asian people. I'm talking about the Asiatic Indian from India. They come all the way to America to get involved in tech. And not only those, a lot of people from Africa, so many people recognize that there's an amazing lifestyle to be found in tech. There are opportunities for you to work remotely and enjoy more financial freedom. There's stability in tech careers. There is a very high demand for people who are involved in tech. Some people are saying, I don't want to worry about how to pay my bills. I want stability, enjoyment. A lot of people, we're using tech all the time. We're using tech as a part of our jobs, a part of our businesses, in our daily lives. And some people they enjoy tech. And so getting involved in tech in a way that they can get paid, it's great. Another reason people get involved in tech is because there are more options. Some people are saying to themselves, it would be great to have options to relocate to a new city, to choose between several job offers, to constantly receive calls about new opportunities. I literally can't just answer my phone because I'm constantly being called by recruiters for new jobs and new opportunities. And they're really hard to turn down, even though I enjoy the specific ones that I'm involved in at the time. I get at least 5 emails a day from new opportunities. Another important reason why people get involved in tech careers is they want to have more income so that they can help their families, not only so they can pay their bills, but you might have some adult children that you want to help out, or you are an adult and you want to help your mom or your dad who's aging right now, or you want to have extra funds to invest in some charity and things like that. Flexibility is another big reason. People are saying, I need a more flexible schedule to spend time with my kids. I can't go to their events at school. I can't check up on them at school. I can't, maybe you want to homeschool your children like I do, which I'll mention again, I'm sure. Another thing is business. There are people who are saying, I need more money to invest in building my own business. You know, in our community, at times it's very difficult to access capital. That's why bootstrapping, using your own money to build your business gradually, invest in your business, or invest in a business with a partner or another family member. It's important to have the additional income to do that. So there's a lot of great reasons to go in tech. So just remember that I'm going to explain how you can actually accomplish this. So now, I want to tell you who is going to really benefit from this information. I want to make sure that the right people are in this webinar, because I'm going to be sharing a lot of information. I am going to be taking my time to explain a lot of details, and there's no point in you being in this webinar if you're not going to benefit from this information. The main people who benefit from this information are those that are saying, I'm dedicated to taking action to achieve a higher income and a better lifestyle for myself and my family. Okay, let me say that again. This webinar is for people who say that I am dedicated to taking action. Changing your lifestyle, upgrading your lifestyle, it's not an easy thing. I am going to make it simple. I'm going to give you steps. I'm going to give you reasons. But if you're not willing to take action, you're not willing to do something different, you're not open-minded, you're not going to benefit from this information. So I hope you've taken the time between when you registered and now to take inventory of your life and make the decision that, yeah, I'm willing to sacrifice time to actually build this career. I'm willing to make space in my life for this. I'm willing to believe in myself and have confidence. And I'll talk about a lot more of that. But let me go into this a little deeper here. So again, I'm going to talk about who really benefits from this. Now, people who are ambitious will benefit from this. Some people, they're fine with their level of lifestyle, whether they're making $30,000 or $130,000. They're at a place in their life where they're like, look, I'm happy with the amount of money that I'm making. You know, this doesn't appeal to me. So this is for those who want to provide more opportunities for their family and their future. People who are determined. You know, there are some people who would kind of like to do more with their finances, to have more stability, but they're not determined to do it. You know, that's the difference here. We want to share this opportunity with people who want to embark on a path that will offer stability and enjoyment, okay? So this is for people who are really ready for a change. And this is also for those who are tired of low income and unfulfilling careers. People contact me all the time. They're like, well, listen, I have a career, but it's dangerous. There's really long hours. I don't feel like I'm getting paid what I'm worth. I don't feel like I'm respected. These people are the types of people who become members of my program and who benefit from changing careers. Another thing is people who are persistent about working. You know, it's a tough job market out there, depending on what type of education you have, what area of the country you're in, what industry you're in, okay? So people who might say, listen, I found it hard to find jobs that pay enough, that are, you know, everything that I want a career to be. But they are persistent about finding that golden opportunity. I know I was. I mean, I had a career that I enjoyed, but at the same time, my income was maxing out at about $50,000 per year. And it just wasn't enough for me. I wanted more. I was persistent. I was turning over rocks trying to figure out ways to make extra money. I had a hustle mentality. Yes, I want to work. You know, people share with me what I could do to get involved in a tech career, what it took for me to do that, like how much time was involved, how did I have to invest? And I say, yes, I will do it because I'm persistent about having a certain type of lifestyle. So again, those are people who will benefit from this information. Confident. We have like students, young adults, teenagers who are confident about what they want to have in the future, the lifestyle they want to build. They're confident in their abilities to, if they just had the direction, to go in that direction and do great things. These are people who benefit from this webinar. So it's young adults or even teens who are seeking a satisfying and lucrative career. Another thing is you have to be mentally open and ready. People who are dissatisfied with their current pay and or opportunities in their current career are people who benefit from this. However, I want to let you know that if you're not there yet, but you can check off a few of these boxes and you are open to learning how you can get there, hey, stay on the webinar because I'm going to talk about some ways you can get to this place of persistence, confidence, being mentally open. So, you know, hang in there and let's keep going. So next, who am I? By this point, you probably have heard me introduce myself and tell you a little bit about myself, but my name is Shaquita Graham and I'm the founder of blacktechlab.net. blacktechlab.net is an online platform for aspiring technologists, whether it's you want to build a technology career or you want to build a technology business or you want to incorporate technology into your existing business, or you want to learn more about just technology in general. You want to stay connected. You have children who you want to introduce to the idea of technology. There's so many resources at blacktechlab.net. But for the intents and purposes of this webinar, I want to share with you my passion as a technology career and business strategist. Okay, I help Black men and women achieve higher income and business revenues by connecting them to lucrative technology careers and businesses so they can build the lifestyle and family legacy they will cherish. I offer insight, guidance, information, encouragement for aspiring technologists. Now, I do specifically have a passion for Black people who don't have access to this information. The statistics say that Black people represent less than 3% of the workforce in some of the top technology corporations. And I've been at those top technology corporations. And there's times where I come in the building and the only place I see Black people is emptying trash, cooking, or cleaning. And, you know, or security guards and things like that. And I say to myself, knowing that the annual income for most Black families is around $40,000 per year, and the annual average salary for a technologist is $80,000 per year. My heart goes out to people in the Black community who are not getting involved in tech because they have fears, limiting beliefs, or they're just not getting introduced to how to navigate this space. So I am passionate about that, knowing that having a higher income can make a change in your life in the present, as well as for your family for generations to come. So again, I'm going to go into more detail about the tech career life, the tech lifestyle. And actually, hold on a second, guys. I think I skipped the slide some way. Just one moment here. Give me a second. I want to just make sure that I'm going through all of the slides. And all right, so first, before I do anything else, I want to make sure that I go through this agenda with you guys about what we're going to discuss today. So let me get a second here and make sure that I pull up the agenda so you can know what else to expect. And one moment. Excuse me, everybody. There's so much to share, and I just want to make sure that I am giving you guys everything that we have available for you to learn. So let me share the screen, and we're going to start right here. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to begin talking about tech careers that are in high demand. We're going to talk about tech salaries. How much money can you make? How much time does it take to make this money? What is the tech lifestyle? I'm actually going to kind of approach that first, the tech lifestyle. The whys. Why do people get involved in a tech lifestyle? The myths and the obstacles that stop people from getting involved. Some of the first steps that you can take to get involved in tech. Adult learning is one of the topics that I'm going to kind of discuss in detail, because this prevents people from moving forward in tech, building a tech career. What are some of the career paths you can take to actually build a tech career? And building a tech business. I'm going to go over some business opportunities that are available in tech. And I am going to give you free resources that you can use to get started right now. Of course, I'll tell you a little bit about Black Tech Lab and how we can support you and offer you some accountability, because many people say, yeah, I want to do this. I heard what you said. I know that I can get started now, but I really want to I want to connect with you, Shaquita. I want to get mentorship and guidance and support. It's not something I want to do alone. So I'll give you more information about that as well. Now, back to lifestyle, the tech career lifestyle. We talked about this in the beginning, but I want you to know that many people, they approach this because they want more time with their families. And this is totally doable with the tech career. And I want to highlight that first, because time is something that's invaluable. You can't get that back. So many of us spend time we spend time in traffic. We spend time, we spend time at work. We spend time doing all sorts of things, but we neglect to spend time with our families. And that is something that is such a big part of, having a career in tech, such a major benefit. So I definitely wanted to make sure I covered that. But I also want you to know, what does being involved in tech mean? What is a tech career? What do people mean by that? And I'm going to go over that next. So give me a second here to queue up our slideshow. Let's see. What is a tech career? What do people mean from that? Does that mean coding? Does that mean that you fix laptop computers? What exactly does it mean to have a tech career? I'm going to share that with you now. All right. So What do you mean by tech career? Is there anything involved besides coding? Yes, there's so much to a tech career besides coding, guys. Listen, I encourage everybody to learn to code. I'm learning to code. But you can get involved in tech without knowing how to code. You can build a tech business without knowing how to code. One of my favorite people to highlight when I talk about tech is Chinedu Achuru. He sold his tech business, Hopstop, to Apple for reportedly over $1 billion, and he does not know how to code. So coding is great. I encourage everyone to learn how to code, but there are times when we need to take our lifestyle to a higher level in a time span where it that's shorter than it takes to learn to code. So that's why I talk about different areas of building a tech career. So let me talk to you about some of the avenues for building a tech career. Information technology, let me just break it down into 4 categories. There's technology hardware that is used to build what's called the World Wide Web. You can see that World Wide Web is like how you would see the highway and street system, okay? You have, we are connected to different parts of the country based on streets and highways. And on those streets and those highways, there are devices that connect us. There's toll bridges, there's traffic lights, there's all kinds of things. Well, there's hardware on the information highway as well. That hardware needs to be maintained. It needs to be configured. It needs to be designed. People need to train people on that hardware. And there's also software. That's where coding comes in, because software is applications like you will find Word, Microsoft Office, Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, which I'm using to deliver this presentation. There are programmers that program these applications to work. That's where coding comes in. Okay, but there's also some other there are some other roles that take place around programmers that are not related to programming. Then there's sales. This equipment, these applications have to be sold to people. So there's ways to get involved in sales. And then there's service. There is a way to provide hardware as a service, software as a service to various businesses and organizations. So when it comes down to it, building a tech career has to do with developing, designing, maintaining, enhancing, repairing, training, coordinating, implementing information technology. So let me go even deeper with this. And I want to talk to you about what actually is a network, because when I say information technology, we're talking about the World Wide Web or a network. I personally consult a lot as a network engineer. So what is a network? What is this hardware that I spoke to you about? Well, a network is comprised of an organized cluster of technical devices that are connected together to pass data from one end user to another. So when I talk about that information highway, that's similar to a highway and street system that we have in real life. Well, instead of cars that run along the highway and along the street system, envision data, media, videos, text, blogs are all on that information highway. And connecting that highway together are these devices that you see here in these pictures. And not only that, but in the very middle here, you see a data center that has these devices are in slots in the data center and connected by cables. And that is where that's the information highway, where software applications, where videos, where blogs, that is the actual highway that they run on. Okay, so that is a network. I'm going to go even deeper with this. So now that we understand a little bit about what a network is, let me take it a little further for you. So when we're on a highway system, we are trying to get, say, from one point to another. We might be going from Atlanta to Chicago, or we might be going from Cleveland, Ohio to Los Angeles, California, right? And we're taking local streets, and then we're getting on the highway until eventually we get closer to the region we're going. And then we get off the highway and we go on the local streets in the new region that we're on. So the same thing with the information highway. We have end users. That is where the data originates, say the video, like what you're watching, and to where it's going, to the end user. So this is an example of a network right here. This, you can see at the very top, there's a main office, and they are connected to what's called a WAN, which is that cloud that's going to allow information to pass from one region to another. And then when it gets to that region, there's a lot of business services that are connected. You might have an area for accounting. You may have an area for the manufacturing department. And let me even take it a little further. This is another example of a network. Say you have, and I know this is going a little deep, but I want you to get some information. Say you have a place like Home Depot. Well, Home Depot is storing all the information about the hammers, the nails, the lighting, the landscaping, the wood, and all of that information for their website. They're storing it in devices in a data center. And in order for the stores to scan that information, or in order for a customer online to purchase that information, they have to go through this highway, this network highway, to get into the data center and get this information. Okay, they can do that via their laptop computer, or scanners in the store, or even the voicemails and the operators that you're connecting with all go through this network. So I know that was a little deep for people who are not technical. You're like, okay, wait a minute, you're going too fast. Listen, I just want you to get some insight into what a network is. I didn't say anything about coding. Remember, I didn't say anything about programming. I'm talking to you about hardware devices. And I will also be talking to you a little bit about how we engineer those devices. So when I talk about being a network engineer, there are people like me who work on those devices to maintain them, to upgrade them, to configure them, to repair them. That is where I especially focus. Again, surrounding that are salespeople, there's project managers, there are programmers, and many other people that are involved in technology that may not even know how to code. Okay, so bear with me. Let's go even deeper. So we're still on what is a network. Now, when I showed you some devices that are a part of the actual network, okay? When I talk about making changes to those devices, I mean, as a network engineer, what do? I sit at a laptop or a desktop, or sometimes I'm in a data center, and I connect to these devices, and I type in commands that make things happen on that device. Okay, so if anybody's wondering, well, what does a technologist do besides code? What does it mean to have a tech career? It means that you could possibly, as a network engineer, be working in a variety of settings to, again, configure, repair, design networks. And I'm going to go even further into what type of incomes does that mean? What kind of job titles are there besides network engineer? Another thing we do as engineers is we monitor the network. You just imagine if you have there's hospitals, there's airlines, there's police stations. Banks, they can't exist without their networks being up. Even corporations like I mentioned, Home Depot. If their network goes down for even moments at a time, they can lose millions of dollars. Lives can be lost. So we as network engineers are constantly monitoring the network to make sure that it's operating efficiently. We're constantly upgrading the network. So those are some of the things that network engineers do. All right, so again, another example of a network here. You can see that this network shows how you have offices in many different states. For instance, if you're talking about a bank like maybe Bank of America or Citizens Trust Bank, they may have a bank in Atlanta, a bank in Boston, a bank in New York, and tellers need to connect with one another. Customers need to connect with information all over the world. Again, a network engineer is working on those devices in each region to make sure that the information highway stays intact, you know. So that is, again, just going over, summarizing what a network is. All right, so now, what are some of the roles you can take? What are some of the titles that you have as in technology careers? All right, so wow, we talked about hardware, so I'm going to start at this center place right here, because that's what I'm most familiar with. That's where I see a lot of demand. That is where I see the shortest turnaround for getting involved in technology is in the network hardware engineering space. Okay, these people are connecting to routers and switches, which are the devices that I showed you in the previous slide. They're called routers and switches. Those are the devices that connect the information highway together. Now, you have people who work in data centers. You have people who work in security related to those things. You have people who work in wireless networks related to those devices. Then you also have pre-sales and post-sales engineers. Well, how does Home Depot or how does the bank get access to routers and switches? Well, they have to purchase them. There are pre-sales engineers and post-sales engineers. Pre-sales engineers say, hey, listen, these are the devices you need for your project and for what you want to do with your network. Post-sales engineers say, okay, we've installed the new equipment. We want to make sure that, you know, everything is functioning and operating well. Then you also have software engineers, which do relate to coding and programming, but also testing. There are people who make sure that they're testing the code, that even the environment for testing is set up, testing code. Then you also have project managers who manage network hardware engineering projects as well as software engineering projects. And then you have, I mentioned testing, like quality control, making sure that the network or the software is operating according to the specifications that were sold. So again, I go into a lot more depth with this at blacktechlab.net, but again, I hope that it gives you some insight here. Now, what are the top 3 most lucrative tech careers? I actually added a bonus so that there could be 4. Now remember, I am focusing on the hardware side of network engineering. Yes, there's a software side, there's a side for coders and programming, people who create applications. I don't focus on that as much because I focus on helping Black people swiftly move into tech careers. And I have found that the swiftest way is to work in hardware network engineering. So the top 3 areas or career paths that I have found to be most lucrative based on how recruiters, they call me, they tell me how much certain jobs pay that they want to offer me. I have highlighted the positions, the roles that I've heard recruiters tell me a rate that is higher than most. And then based on some of the statistics that you'll see that I'll share with you. Now, software-defined networking, that's where programming or like software engineering and hardware engineering meet, okay? This is a way of managing network hardware devices through programming and software. Then you have cloud engineers, okay? That's designing, migrating, and managing networks in the cloud. That's something like Amazon Web Services or Azure, Microsoft Azure Web Services. That allows people to use Microsoft or use Amazon's data centers instead of building their own to house websites and information, okay? The other area is security. And to be honest with you, kind of all 3 of these are about, you can get the same level of income from either one of them. I think security is going to have the most stability and demand, even though all of them are in demand. We're talking about anywhere from base 6 figures, 100,000 to over $200,000 a year once you establish yourself in your career. Same thing with wireless. Wireless engineers manage the wireless networks of corporations. Now, I've talked about 4 tech career roles, and I promise you that there are, I don't know, maybe even 7 to 10 more that have just as much potential as these do. And again, that's why I created a whole platform around your 6-figure tech career and tech careers in general. So now, how much money can I make? How much money can I make in tech? I want to go over the tech salaries with you. All right. So I'm going to tell you right now, these salaries are kind of low based on my experience. They're kind of low. And I think that's a good thing because we want to be responsible when we're sharing what you can do, because it depends on how ambitious you are. It depends on maybe even the area of the country you're in. It can depend on how good you are at what you do. You know, I am a person who's very ambitious, so I have gone what people can consider very far in their career. So for me, I was at CCNP level, as you can see right here. I would say maybe in the first 2 years of my career. Okay. So let's just go from the start. Right here, you can see the average salary. This is for a basic certification that you could achieve in less than 90 days. I would say less than 45 days, you can get a CompTIA A+ certificate. And the average salary for people who have the certification is $52,000 per year. That's average. So you can make a little more, you can make a little less, that's average. These people hold roles such as PC tech, personal computer technician, help desk technician, okay? That's the start. I can see a person starting in technology and within 45 to 60 days obtaining a job with this, if not higher. The next thing is Network Plus certification, 9 months of experience and an A+. So they have A+, as you see right here, plus Network Plus. Now, again, I say within 90 days, I can see a person being at this place. Average salary, $67,000. And I think that these figures are maybe a little outdated, but definitely 67,000, if not more. I can see you doing this. I can see most people, ambitious people, persistent people, I can see them doing this in 90 days. That person holds, these people hold titles such as LAN/WAN administrator, systems administrator, network technician. 60 to 90 days. Now, within 90 days to 4, maybe 6 months at the most, I can see a person being at these 2 levels. They call this CCENT, Cisco Certified Entry Level, or Cisco Certified Network Associate. All right. Again, now these people, they're giving you what is typical and what, you know, is recommended. I have personally seen this be move swifter. The more you know about building a tech career, of course, the easier it would be to create a tech career on this level. Now, let's just go to CCNA. The average salary being $87,000. I've seen it be much higher than that, but I think that makes sense. These people hold roles such as network technician, support engineer, systems engineer, network operations engineer. And hey, feel free, go to Indeed. Type in network technician jobs in my area. Type in network analyst, network technician, and see what comes up. A lot of times these job websites will include how much the job pays. So next 3 to 5 years, I don't think, I would say in 12 to 18, I would say maybe anywhere from 10 to 18 months, you can see yourself in a position like this. Okay, hold on, guys. Somebody's trying to call me via Google. Let me stop that for a second. Hold on. One moment, guys. All right, it stopped. Okay, great. So, like I was saying, let me share my screen again. All right, so like I was saying, I can see a person within 10 to 18 months reaching this level of a CCNP in salary. You may not be able to achieve the CCNP in 10 to 18 months. That's going to be a stretch. I can see it happening, but I would say that's more like anywhere from 18 to 24 months. But you can start seeing the salary of a CCNP in 12 to 18 months, especially with the information that I give you. See, once you have a mentor and a guide who has gone through a certain path, and they can give you shortcuts, you know, they can give you tips and advice to help you speed up your journey. And that's exactly what I do at blacktechlab.net. So again, you can see where I'm going with this. These are the types of salaries that's the type of money you can make in technology. All right, so I kind of went over the timeline before. Step 1, to get your first tech certification, is 30 to 45 days. That is depending on the effort that you put in, the time that you put in, okay? Step 2, in 45 to 60 days, you will be building your resume, okay? You will be getting yourself on the radar of recruiters. Step 3, in 60 to 90 days, you would start interviewing with my program. You would start interviewing with recruiters and things like that, and you will land your first tech job. If you follow the advice that I give you, if you are persistent, if you are a hard worker, if you are truly ready to change your life, you could do it in 90 days. Remember, I told you about the roles. The entry level might be around anywhere, I'm going to give it 45 to 65,000. Okay, though that's your first step. But the main goal is to build a six-figure tech career, which would happen for you in 6 to 18 months. So you would go ahead and take those steps for the first 90 days. You will land your first tech job within 90 days, and then you will just grow from there. You may stay on that first tech job for 3 months, 6 months, and then the next thing you know, you're at another tech job and your salary has increased to the point where you could be at 6 figures or more. Okay, let me kind of get out of the way and talk about this. Now, when we're talking about your 6-figure tech career, we're talking about $8,000 to $22,000 per month. I'm not being facetious. I'm not exaggerating. I am trying to really convey to you that this can be your income. And how would this income really change your lifestyle? All right, we're going to talk about, keep that income in mind when we talk about the tech lifestyle. And what are the other reasons? You know, maybe you're in a job, like I said, I have members who say, listen, you know, I have a job that pays pretty decent, pays 60, 70,000, but I'm never home. It's back-breaking work. I have to work 12-hour shifts. Or I work, you know, I had someone who spoke to me that worked in a correctional facility. It was dangerous. It was depressing work, you know. And if you need support, okay, because you're hearing what I'm saying, 6 to 18 months to really get to the ultimate goal, which is your 6-figure tech career, 90 days to get to what you might consider your first step, which is your first tech job. You want some guidance, you want some support, you want some accountability. blacktechlab.net is here to provide you with that. All right, let's keep going. All right, so the 6-figure tech lifestyle. Now, this is for people who say they want to stop living paycheck to paycheck. That is a big reason why people say, you know what? I have a liberal arts degree. I never really thought about being a technologist. I'm a teacher. I'm a social worker, but I'm living paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get involved in a career that's going to give me a lifestyle where I can stop living paycheck to paycheck. Another thing people say to me is they want to reduce the stress related to their bills. You know, we've all been there where it's like, you know, it's coming towards that time of the month and it's like, oh man, I got to call this bill collector and let them know I can't pay for another 15 days or I can't pay at all. Or, you know, it's just a lot of stress that can be related to your bills. You know, you might want a new house. You might need a new car, not just for being blinged out or anything like that, but because you want to live in a better neighborhood, a better school district. You want to have a car that's not breaking down every other week. This is why this is a part of the tech lifestyle. I mean, I'm going to tell you personally, I had a situation where I purchased a new car and the engine went out of it after 2 months of having the car. So I had a car note on a new car. This car wasn't even, I think it was about 3 years old. The manufacturer's warranty did not want to cover it. The car lot did not want to help me. But previously in my old career, I would have been so stressed out and losing my mind over this because my transportation to my job was jeopardized and I would have to be liable to pay the car note as well as get the engine repaired. Well, because I have built a lucrative tech career, I could get the engine fixed and continue to pay the car note and not be worried about transportation because most of the time I work remotely anyway, work from home. This is real. This is a real situation and not something that I want to stress to people, because many times we want to go out here and pursue our dreams. Yeah, you want to help people. You want to be a social worker. But in being a social worker, that means you have to live paycheck to paycheck. Well, what if you went ahead and you said, listen, I'm going to get involved in the tech career first, and I'm going to build the stability that I want to have. And I'll create a nonprofit organization later on so I can do my social work, you know? So again, that goes back to this bullet point here: create a new avenue for reaching your goals. When you have stability, you can pay your bills, and you have income left over, that is a new avenue for reaching your goals. So that's what you can accomplish with a six-figure tech career. And then you'll see the results for generations to come. That's supposed to be C-O-M-E, come, okay? So listen, if you build a six-figure tech career, say you're only 22, 25, 19, and you build a six-figure tech career, if your career lasts 10, 15 years, 5 years, just think of how you can take that excess income and cause it to work for your family for the future. If you invest in real estate, if you partner with someone, invest in a business or build your own business, or like I gave with the social work example, you build a nonprofit organization or a social work organization. Or if you're interested in teaching, you build your own school or your own daycare. Generations to come, that can make a change, because you can't pass down a tech job, but you can pass down a tech business. You can pass down a business that you will build with the extra money that you make in technology. All right. So get paid while working from home. All right. Say you do invest in this beautiful home with your spouse and your children. The last thing you want to do is be gone for your home for over 50, 70, 80 hours per week. What if you could be working remotely from your home? That's a new lifestyle, because the six figures is one thing, but what does the six figures allow you to achieve? All right, want to go even deeper. The tech career lifestyle includes those who say, I want more time with my family. It's similar to what I just talked about, okay? When you are able to have a more flexible schedule, you can be there for the important moments, the recitals. You can be at home out of traffic, put your laptop down at the end of the day and have time to play Monopoly with your kids, or to cook meals more often, nutritional meals. Experience more freedom in your schedule for the things that are important to you. Hobbies. You know, you might like to jog. You might like to paint, but you don't have time to do that because you have to commute an hour each way every day. Plus, you have to be at work for 9 hours every day. And, you know, all of that is taxing you. You know, in a tech career lifestyle, not only are you making six figures, but you have the flexibility to have more freedom in your schedule. Time to spend meditating or doing yoga, or just having, you know, I found that when I started working from home, being out of traffic, you know, that was draining on me. Just sitting in traffic and trying not to be in an accident an hour to an hour and a half into work and an hour and a half back. Now, your tech career in the first 90 days may not start off remote. It's possible that it can, but by the time you continue to progress, you definitely have avenues so that you can work remotely, either part-time to 1 to 2 days a week, or 100%. I finally got to a place in my career years ago where many of my offers are 100% remote, and I currently have clients that are 100% remote now. Okay. Lifestyle options. Listen, I have a friend who's in tech, and, you know, he's like, listen, I'm so happy that I work remotely now, because I used to, in the middle of the day, see people walking their dogs, running, young people. They obviously weren't retired, and he was thinking to himself, How did they do that? What kind of job do they have? You know? Well, I'm sure many people who have tech jobs can do this. I have a colleague who is on my team right now who works from the Cayman Islands. You know, with the role that I have right now that's 100% remote, I can work from anywhere. I have team members that are all over the country. Some in California. I mentioned the one in Cayman Islands. You know, Washington. I have team members in all of these places. This is what I'm talking about. This is real. And this is such an opportunity that we need in our community. All right, let me keep going. Listen, people who want a better love life and or marriage, you want to consider a six-figure tech career. That's the lifestyle. Stop fighting about money. Many marriages and relationships end because you're fighting about money, or you're hesitant to build a family because you don't think you have the financial stability to do that. A six-figure tech career and lifestyle can help you to do that. I'm spending a lot of time on this because you have to be motivated. You must be motivated in order to make this kind of change. To be honest with you, I don't think that it's more work than finding a career in any other industry, but there is a component of learning, intense reading, intense testing. And if you are not adamant about having this lifestyle, you might as well stop the webinar right now. You know, I'm sharing with you the things that will cause you to be persistent enough to do this, that will cause you to have the confidence to do this, that will cause you to be ambitious enough to do this. These are the reasons why you want to consider this, okay? Invest in your marriage. Do you want to go to a marriage retreat? Do you want to spend more time with your loved one? Going on date nights and stuff, not being so tired when you get off work? Yeah, after you get through those first initial hurdles, I would say those first 90 days, you will see yourself coming into this new lifestyle. And definitely within 6 to 18 months, you're going to see a tremendous change, okay? Invest in your legacy. Just think if you and your spouse had a six-figure tech career. You're making 100, 150,000. Your spouse is making 100, 150,000. First of all, how strong is that going to make you as a couple? And how is that going to allow you to invest in your future? Okay, if you don't see it by now, just turn the webinar off, please, because this is not for you. But for me, I was desperate for that. When I would have to be standing up so I wouldn't fall asleep reading a tech book, I was desperate. This is what I saw for my future. So I'm speaking to people who have that kind of desire. If you're like, hey, it doesn't matter, or I'm good where I am, this career change, this webinar, this information is not for you. Maybe you should share it with someone who feels that way. And I'm saying that not to be, disrespect anyone, but hey, listen, time is valuable. You can't get it back. There's no point in, you sitting through this webinar if you're not at that place. There's no point in me wasting your time. That's all that I want to share with you about that when I say that. Be free to experience more happiness. Again, the benefits of the six-figure tech career lifestyle, it's not just the money. What does the money allow you to do? You want to experience a more fulfilling life? Create invaluable memories by going on vacation with your family, taking a day off and going to the beach because you got 3 weeks paid time off, or you've got such a flexible schedule that you can, in the middle of the day, say, hey kids, let's take a break from homeschooling and let's go to the beach or to the park. I mentioned vacations, staycations, dinners, hobbies. These create the memories that make up your life. You don't want to look back and say, for most of my life, all I did was just work. Even building a family business together is an invaluable experience. Having time to have those in-depth talks with your kids and just to hear them share their lives with you, being around to have in-depth conversations with your spouse, you know, being able to visit with your family because you're not just so crazy busy, you know. Hey, are you busy in tech? Yeah. Do you have responsibilities? Yeah, you do. There's times where there's definitely been seasons when I've been very busy, but not like it was when I was in other industries. Number one, I felt like it was worth it because my income was so lucrative. I was willing to put in extra time for that season. Number two, even when I was even when my career or the role that I had in my position was intense, it was for short periods, you know. The network stays up, or is supposed to stay up, over 99% of the time. You are to be there when for that other percentage when it's down or where it needs repair or upgrading. So, you know, a lot of times there is downtime in technology. All right. I think you get the point that the six-figure lifestyle, it allows you to experience more peace of mind and more happiness, more time for yourself, less worry about finances and such. So let's move on. Basically, if you want to experience a more fulfilling life, what are you waiting for? Rap mogul Master P, he said it. Why are we not benefiting from this multi-billion-dollar industry that has been created off of our lifestyle? In many cases, he's speaking related to the gaming industry, but we have to expand our mind to technology. All right. So that's enough on the tech career lifestyle. Now you say, well, I want to do it. I want the lifestyle, but I can't build a six-figure tech career because of these certain reasons why. Okay. Some people say I'm not good at math. Some people say they have fears that it won't work for them. They lack the discipline. I can't find the time. Learning. I'm not a good student. Listen, you can overcome all of those things, all right? Because fear, the essence of fear is false evidence appearing real. I am not a math genius by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, you know, I'm smart enough, but I'll tell you that I don't have a computer science degree and I'm not a math genius. So don't let that stop you. If you want that lifestyle that we just talked about, we just spent a lot of time talking about, you will make the time. You will make the time to do this. Now, I recommend at least 4 hours per week. I say that there's times where I spend 20 hours per week studying. You have to create some time to do this. Okay. It requires time. And that really a lot of times comes down to discipline, because most of us have the weekends off. You know, most of us can squeeze out an hour or two every other day when we get off work. So that's a discipline thing, that if you want that lifestyle, you're going to do it. Okay. Let me talk about some other things. Adult learning. Now, one thing that really is a serious concern that many people have is, look, I haven't been in school very long. I mean, I haven't been in school for a long time. I can't see my job being learning. It's just too hard. Well, I'm going to get some tips about adult learning. One of the strategies I used to help me learn, and that adults can use to help them learn, is to take information and turn it into, frame it in a way that they can easily remember it. Now, this is an example here where the OSI layers, the 7 OSI layers, are a part of the foundations and the fundamentals of network engineering. Okay, even software engineering. This burger is an example of you picturing in your mind something that you can relate these layers to. So again, this is just an example of framing information in a way that you can easily retain it. I go through additional tips and tricks on adult learning in Black Tech Lab. When you work with me, I do provide support to those who need information on learning. Another thing with adult learning is, again, using pictures, like where you see where it says transport layer, number 4, you see a suitcase there. That helps a person visualize transport via a suitcase. Again, I'm not doing a whole session on adult learning, but I just want to give you some tips to show you that there's ways, there's strategies you can use as an adult or as someone who wants to be more capable of learning lots of information. There are strategies you can use to do that. One of them is using pictures or using memorable images that helps you retain information. Now, I want you to keep in mind, there are many reasons that you can use, many, I guess you can say, excuses you can use to say, hey, I can't do this. You know, I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the mental energy to do this. But I want you to keep in mind that in the Black community, we often went to where the money was. I have this picture here of these 2 Black men on a railroad, because at one point, being in the railroad industry, building railroads was lucrative. And Black men said, if this is what I need to do for my family, I'm a railroad engineer or a railroad laborer, whatever you want to call it. They migrated from different parts of the country to go where railroads are being built so that they could provide a better life for their families and for generations to come. That's the same thing that people from India are doing. They're moving here and taking advantage of the tech industry as careers and businesses because they know that it's going to make a big difference for their futures. So we have to go to the money, guys. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I like to do besides tech, even though I love the tech industry. But I said, listen, I need to get the money first, and I can take that money and funnel it into some of the other things that I like to do. Right? So let's not be afraid to go to the money. Let's not let limiting beliefs and myths and obstacles stop us from going to where the money is. I remember there was a time in steel, my grandfather was in steel. My grandfather and my uncle, his son, went into steel because where we lived in the Midwest, the automobile and steel industry was big. So that's what they did. They got into steel. You know, we can't be afraid to go where the money is. Don't let anything stop you from going to where the money is, because the money can be a source of power. It can be a tool. When I say power, power is the option to choose. Power is the option to say, hey, this is what I want to do with my life, with my time, with my schedule, with my children. Because you have options. That gives you power to make decisions, okay? And let's not take it too far. I'm just saying on a basic level, okay? All right, let's keep going, guys. I think that we're halfway there. So the 6-figure mentality is a limitless mentality. It is a mentality that says, I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to make short-term sacrifices for a long-term gain. I'm focused on my careers. I deserve the best of everything. And I am willing to do what's necessary to build $100,000 plus income level in 6 to 18 months. Okay? That's a 6-figure mentality. If you have that mentality, please stay tuned. All right, now, where do I start? We're getting there, guys. We're getting close to the end. And remember, I'm going to give you some free resources that you can get started with, even if you don't want to go to Black Tech Lab, even if you don't want to be a part of any of the programs that I offer to receive support from me, because everybody just doesn't need to do that or may not want to do that. By the end of this webinar, I'm going to give you online resources where, hey, you can go ahead and get started on your own. So let's go through this. Where do I start? So let's look all the way at the bottom here. Choose a specific tech field, whether it's data center, service provider, security. I talked about some of those tech roles briefly. Again, I go really in depth with, I mean, there's so many of them. I mean, there's 20, 30, I can't even remember how many career roles there are. But choose your tech career and then choose the certification path that is required to advance in that career. And then once you know what the certification is, the certification means an exam. So you need to understand what is going to be covered in the exam. Those are called exam objectives. Go to that website that hosts information about that exam and then get the exam objectives. The most common one, say for instance, CompTIA A+. You say, listen, I just want to start off as a help desk person or whatnot. I just want to build with a CompTIA A+. So I'm going to the CompTIA website and I'm going to find out what am I required to know to pass the CompTIA A+ exam. Then choose your study tools. Okay, there's many practice exams or online programs via YouTube. I call it YouTube University, that covers these exam objectives. Okay, now I'm showing you how to do this yourself independently. I go in more depth with some support if you need that, but these are the steps that I move people through. Create a study plan. Test your knowledge of the objectives with practice tests, and then go past that exam. Now, once you have the CompTIA A+, you need to let people who are looking for those skills know. You need to start to advertise yourself, promote yourself as someone with a CompTIA A+ certification. And that is going to get people calling you, and they're going to ask you, hey, listen, let's get together and have a chat. I want to go over what your technical skills are. And again, I prepare people for these technical interviews. And then from there, your income just grows. It just grows and grows and grows. Okay. Now you can get a whole guide about that at blacktechguide.net. Okay. Let's keep going. We're going to wrap up here. Now, again, I told you that the ultimate goal is a 6-figure tech career in 6 to 18 months. But you will be making steps. Step 1, 30 to 45 days, your first tech certification. Step 2, 45 to 60 days, resume building. Step 3, 60 to 90 days, technical interviews and land your first job. And then on and on from there. Now, are you willing to dedicate and commit your time to this? You'll get that lifestyle that we talked about in the beginning. Do you need support and accountability? Connect with blacktechlab.net. All right. Beyond 6 figures, I told you that I'll talk to you about tech business ideas. Once you build a tech career, you're working for, all types of corporations and organizations. So you learn some things about how they're applying technology. You learn some things about new technologies that are even coming on the market that people don't know about, which allows you to invest as a business person, whether it's stocks or building a business or partnering with someone in a business. It allows you to turn your technology into a business. All right. So let me talk about some of the areas. Business to business mobile app development. That is a great area with a low barrier to entry relating to cost and technical know-how. And I have an online webcast at blacktechlab.net, Your Amazing Tech Business or Tech Startup, I think it is. We talk about mobile app development and the ways that you can move into that area really swiftly. Cybersecurity consultant. There are people who have businesses where all they do is try to infiltrate networks. They get paid to try to break into networks, like as hackers, okay? So you can build a security consulting business. Let's go to the other side here. Smart homes is a big thing right now. You have people who are building new homes, or they want to upgrade their home. They want the thermostat to be the garage, the refrigerator to all be accessible through their smartphone. They want their security system, their locks on their home to be accessible through their smartphone. They want their sound system to be accessible through their smartphone. Well, there's a lot of things on the market that can be automated to create the smart home. They want their lights to dim depending on how they feel. There's equipment out there that can do those kinds of things. If you know about that, that's called the Internet of Things, wearables. You know about those technologies, you can build a consulting firm around that. What about business to business and government contracts? I worked on a contract at one point where you just, what was required is to go to government field offices and install printers, or go into banks at night and upgrade their Microsoft Word or their Microsoft Office programs. So these are contracts that, as a technologist, you can begin to work for and build a business around. So those are a few tech business ideas. There's a lot more, and I share that on Black Tech Lab. Now, blacktechlab.net, the support you need to get the results you want. If you just say, listen, Shaquita, I hear you. I want you to help me do it. I know you've done it before. I want to move along swiftly with this. I don't want to play games. I just want I need the support and the accountability of you working with me to help me do this. Well, I have one-on-one programs or independent study programs. Independent study programs are self-paced, but they give you all of this insight, and I continue to provide more and more insight as things change, or I just continue to update the material and add to the material. One-on-one, I work with you to customize a program to help you have everything you need to make this a reality. So that either one of those paths gives you accountability and support. And you'll get the insight from someone who has done it. That's something that I didn't have. And I think it would have made it much easier for me if I had that. So I want to be there for you to offer that. Everything you need to get results if you are ready to do that. Again, a lot of people have a hard time staying committed for even a week on something, let alone 90 days or 6 to 18 months. But again, along the way, you're going to be hitting milestones. You're going to be seeing results the whole way through. So let me tell you a little bit more about Black Tech Lab. What is the value of a 6-figure career? If you want to experience a more fulfilling life, what price tag do you put on more fulfillment? It's invaluable, right? Listen, I'm going to talk to you about how you can get involved in these programs, and I'm also going to show you free ways you can get started. I have free resources at blacktechlab.net, and I'll tell you about some other places online where you can get free resources. Okay, where do I start? First of all, let me just tell you with what real members are saying. Just seeing what an entry-level individual can start off with holding a CCNT brought tears to my eyes. I've worked in office administration since I graduated. I think she's talking about from college. And it seemed like I would be making $30,000 forever. This is the type of, now, let me just be clear. At blacktechlab.net, I am not teaching technology skills, I am teaching the skills necessary to build technology careers. And I show you how to access the information to about the technology of your choice. Okay. So it's about more income and more revenue, whichever area of technology you want to go into. And for people who are on this webinar, you will receive 50% off right now if you want to enroll in any of the six-figure tech career programs, whether it's monthly or annually. Okay. So again, when we're talking about where do you start, you can expect this if you are involved with blacktechlab.net and your six-figure technology career is the program that speaks to this. So we're talking about higher income, excess funds to invest, the lifestyle you want for you and your family. Now, what can you expect from the program? You will be equipped to choose a lucrative tech career path. Now, I mentioned a few career paths in this webinar, but I want to expose you to all of them that are out there. Some may fit your personality and your expertise more than others, okay? Determine the best tech certifications to obtain and reach your goals. Listen, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of tech certifications. I talk to you about the ones that I know will result in recruiters constantly calling you, that will result in you making or taking the swiftest path to six figures and more. You will be equipped to execute strategies to obtain the tech certification swiftly. Now, there's a method to adult learning. There is a method to taking these exams, depending on who's writing the exams. So I go through how to actually employ or deploy a strategy that helps you pass the exams. Also, access to key resources to assist you in training for exam success. Same thing, a strategy. Get the career starter experience you need to thrive in a tech career. Some of you don't have any or much tech experience. I show you how to leverage the experiences that you have as well as gain more experiences so that you can move into the tech space. I help you to prepare a tech resume and an online profile to make tech recruiters call you. And I help you obtain your first tech client. You'll get information that will equip you to obtain your first tech client. When I say assist you or help you, I am sharing with you the tips, the advice, the strategies, the proven methods that I have used to do these same things. Now, it depends on how you apply yourself, of course. Also, I want you to just see what kind of price people put on just you getting a certification. Like this right here is a training boot camp that's 14 days for $8,995. Now, they know they can charge this much because people who really want to build a six-figure plus tech career will pay that. Of course they will. Why wouldn't you pay $9,000 if you have access to it? If you're going to make over $100,000, you would make back the $9,000 in your first month. Okay, and this is just a certification. Okay, this is not showing you how to build a career, how to navigate the tech industry as a career person or as a business entrepreneur. Okay, this is just showing you how to get the certification. So I want to show you this so you can understand the value that Black Tech Lab offers, because this is something that's important, that was important to me when I created this platform. I'm sorry, let me go back. Now, there are several different ways that you can get involved in independent study with me or even one-on-one. But I want to tell you that right now there's flexible payment plans for your self-study. For the self-study program, where you have access to videos, webcasts, documents, and all of those things, and even different people on the site, and to me via email and things like that, I'll respond to you and make sure that I answer many of your questions. So if you want to go 1 month at a time, the regular price for those not on this webinar is $197 a month. And when you go monthly, you're only getting access to one section per month, one section of the sites, and you progress each month to receiving full access. Now, if you want the full year, then it's $999. That's a far cry from $9,000, right? That's like less than 10% or around 10%. All right, you get a full year of access for $999. Or if you want the flex pay option, you can do half now and half later, 2 payments of $550. All right. If you're ready to have more in your life, invest in yourself. Okay. Now, for people who are serious about this, for a limited time, I'm offering 50% off. Okay. You can get access to the independent study program by going to blacktechlab.net and entering the coupon code 50VIP. All right. Now remember, if you want to take advantage of 50% off, you have to go to blacktechlab.net and you have to enter this coupon code 50VIP. And then you will be able to access the monthly program for $98 per month instead of $197 per month. Okay, so that is my gift to you, 50% off. Now, if you say, listen, I'm going to need some time to work on this. I want to keep getting the updates. I want to have full access, Shaquita. Then you can go to blacktechlab.net, put in the coupon code New Lifestyle. And instead of paying $9.99 for the full year, for those on this webinar, you will be able to access that for $4.99 for the full year. So instead of you paying $8,990 something just to get one certification, I'll show you how to get any certification you want. I will show you how to navigate the tech industry so that you can build a 6-figure tech career for a fraction of the price. That's like 5% of what you would pay in that other scenario for 14 days. And you're getting this annually. I mean, you're getting annual access to this. So listen, if you are thinking about having a new lifestyle, generating more income, what is it worth to you? What are you willing to do? And I need to let you know too, that there is a time commitment. We talked about that, 30 to 45 days, 60 to 90 days, 6 to 18 months. All right. You are going to be working on this. So it's going to benefit you to have annual access because you can reach out to me and I respond to you swiftly. I speak to you about your specific scenario. Now, you can go to blacktechlab.net and also find out about how to get one-on-one help. Now, I haven't discussed that in this webinar before because I really, to be honest with you, I'm very busy in my career. So I only open up one-on-one help to qualified candidates. You actually have to apply to be in the one-on-one signature program, but you can go to blacktechlab.net. There are coupon codes I'll place there, especially because I know that people from this webinar may be going there, and you can receive special bonus pricing on one-on-one signature programs as well. Now, let's talk about some free resources. Say you're like, listen, Shaquita, I'm just not ready to commit to the programs at Black Tech Lab. If that's the case, still go there and access the free resources that are there. There's an area called FYI. There's also a book that I've written there that you can get, a little information and stay connected, But if you want to get started for little to no investment at all, you don't need support, you don't need one-on-one customized program and all of that, go to YouTube. If you go to YouTube and you put in CompTIA A+, They'll give you information on how to get a CompTIA A+ certification. You'll find a lot of information on that. If you go to YouTube and you put CCNA, you're going to get a lot of information on getting a CCNA. Safari Books Online, I think it's like $29 a month, something around that range, where you can get access to the certification guides. And I'm going to talk about the purpose of those. CBT Nuggets is another place that teaches you the technology that you'll need to employ in these tech careers. INE is another source. CBT Nuggets and INE, I think they're anywhere from $80 to $99 a month to learn with. So again, it just depends on what technologies you want to learn, and they'll give you the information. I don't focus on teaching you the technology. I focus on teaching you how to build a tech career. Okay, but if you look over here to the right, there's 4 important pieces of information you will need. When you're trying to build a tech career, you're going to need to pass technology exams to get certifications. So you're going to need the official certification guide. That's something you can get at Safari Books Online. You're going to need a list of the exam objectives for the exam. That's where you're going to go to the website that, when I mentioned before, that hosts information about the exam. You're going to need additional knowledge and instruction about each exam objective. That's when you go to CBT Nuggets or YouTube, where they're going to break down each objective and tell you, what that's all about. They're going to break that down for you. You'll need a method for practicing. So if you see this right here on the left, in this laptop, resources, certification guides, you can go to Cisco Press, that's for Cisco exams, of course, and Safari Online for other exams. The knowledge and the support you need as far as like videos and labs to give you that additional instruction about each exam objective, you can go to Cisco Learning Network. Again, if you're talking about Cisco, or CBT Nuggets, INE, or YouTube. Okay, so those are some ways to get started. Okay, that is how you go about getting started now for little to no cost. Another way for you to get, you're saying, listen, I need to be around other people. And I suggest you get around other Black technologists. In my area, there's a meetup called Technologists of Color. That's in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Okay, they have meetups, at least once a month, maybe even more, that brings people, aspiring Black technologists together. It connects them with resources to help them evolve and build in their careers or tech businesses. Go to seminars. There's seminars like Cisco Live, or there's online seminars that you can go to, like you're in this webinar right here, to help you connect to other technologists and information about technology. And I don't have it listed there under seminars, but Coursera is another good place to go. COURSERA, Coursera. That's a good place. And then I have a Facebook group, aspiring Black technologists or aspiring technologists. And like I told you, there are some free spaces on blacktechlab.net, like FYI. There's some lower cost spaces like Tech Connect. So these are some free resources that can get you started right now. Listen, follow us, stay connected with me on these different social media sites. I want to hear about how it's going. I want to hear about your tech business ideas. I want to hear about, why you're getting involved in tech. I want to hear about your journey to choosing a tech career, getting tech exams, getting tech certifications. So follow me on my Facebook page, at a Tech Co Now, or the Facebook group Aspiring Black Technologists, or at Twitter, at a Tech Co, and at Shaquita Live. On Instagram, at SG Winning. On YouTube, I'll talk about motivational aspects of being involved in tech there. and that's at atechco.net on YouTube or at Shaquita Graham on YouTube. So I want to finally thank you for watching. I think that I have given you, and I have purpose to give you information that will change your lifestyle, that will upgrade your income, take you to a new tax bracket. I guess this is going to be good for people. But I am so happy that you stuck with me to the end of this video, and I look forward to learning about how this information has helped you. And I want to connect with you on one of these platforms or these social media sites. Let me know how you like the webinar. Give me insight. I'm sorry, 1 second here. Give me insight about how the webinar could have been better. Any topics that you want me to discuss on some of the other social media platforms like YouTube, just share with me, guys. I am so happy to be connecting with aspiring Black technologists. I want to see more Black people get involved in this industry. So I love you, family. I wish you prosperity and success. And again, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey today.